welcome to my channel, Andra Makes. I am very excited to share with you the things I made in October, including the Viewer's Choice winner. So thanks so much for tuning in to watch. It really means a lot to me and it encourages me to keep going with YouTube. The first thing I'd like to share is my October mini quilt wall hanging, and here it is. It's pumpkins, and I made these a couple years ago, I think. I have one for every month, and at the beginning of every month I hang it up in my den in my house. So there is the one for October. And the first 4 garments I'm going to share with you, I'm going to go over them pretty quickly because I have a separate video already on my channel as pattern reviews for these. So if you want lots more details and I actually try the garment on for you in those videos, check those out as I go through them. So I do have a pattern review for the first one I'm going to show you, and it is Simplicity 8987, and I made view C. I made this view with the wide sleeves, and here it is. And this fabric is a tablecloth that I got from a thrift store that I like a lot. I really love this color, and it has gentle gathers at the sleeve, and the sleeve is really neat. It's in 3 pieces. There's a front section, and then the back section, and then this lower section. So you could have some fun with color blocking with this pattern if you wanted to. And I use this fun, funky metallic gold bias binding for the neckline, and then it has 3 buttons in the back. And as we go along, I will show everything as best I can on hangers, and then I will insert pictures of me wearing them also. But for this pattern, I have a pattern review for it on my channel and go into lots of detail and try it on for you. So check that out if you're interested. And the next thing that I made, well, the next thing I'd like to share that I made in October is Simplicity 8601, and I made view A, which is what the model is wearing. And I actually made 2 of these, and on the first one I made, I went rogue on the pattern. This calls for woven fabric, but I used a knit, and they also want you to cut the back in 2 pieces, but I cut mine on the fold since it was a knit, and they wanted you to do a facing, but since I cut mine on the fold, I didn't need a facing, so I did bias binding, and let me show it to you. And I have a pattern review for this on my channel also, if you'd like to see it. But I use this very pretty knit fabric that has texture on it. Let me get in close so you can see that. And this was given to me from my friend Trisha in California. Thank you, Trisha. It has these wonderful wide sleeves. And then there's the back. And it ties in the front. And on the pattern, they want you to cut this piece at an angle, which I did on this one, but on the next one I'm going to show you I didn't. And I used, like I said, bias binding on the neckline and the sleeves, and then I used a grosgrain ribbon around where the ties start, and then all the way around the hem, because keep in mind when you tie these, inevitably the wrong side's going to show, so you want it to look nice, and I didn't want to do a double fold hem, so that's what I chose to do on this one. And then the second one I made, I pretty much followed the pattern instructions. I used a woven. This is a more substantial woven. This is a bottom weight, I believe, and my sister-in-law gave this to me. Thank you, Leanne. And it's this fun zebra print And then there's the where it ties, and it has a keyhole opening in the back, and then there's an elastic cord loop. I used black, I don't know if you can see it, and then I used this very pretty heart-shaped button that my friend Tamara gave me. And on this one I did do the facing, but I made my own bias binding for the sleeves and then all around where the tie starts and then all the way around the hem. And I did not cut this one at an angle like the pattern piece suggests. I just cut it straight. And for this one and the gray one that I just showed you, I have a separate video as a pattern review for this, and I actually tried on for you and everything, so check that one out if you're interested. And here are pictures of me wearing those so you can see what they look like on. And the next thing I'd like to share I made in October. I also have a separate video for on my channel as a pattern review where I go into lots of detail and try them on for you. So if you want more detail than what I'm going to give right now, go ahead and check that out. But it's Butterick 6865 and I made view B, which is what the model is wearing in this view. And this one has 2 1/2-inch pieces of elastic, 2 separate rows around the waistband. I did not do the drawstring on mine, and then it has these fab pockets and an elastic gathering at the bottom of the leg, which when I said I was going to make that pattern in my October plans video, I wasn't sure if I would like the elastic around the cuffs, but I wanted to try it, and then if I didn't like it I could always take it out. But I really like it, and I'm glad that I tried it, and I'm surprised that I like it. It's not really tight, which I think helps. But here are my pants I made, and this is Performance Athletic Brushed Terry that I got from Joann. And there's the pockets. You can see the double elastic, 2 rows of elastic for the waist. And this is really thick. It reminds me of an old school sweatshirt. And then there's the elastic around the cuffs. And I really like how these fit, and I try them on for you and go over all that in my pattern review. And I love these so much, I'm going to make them for November. They're a part of my November plans also. And I stated in my pattern review that depending on the fabric you use and how you style them, these can even, you can dress these up a little bit. So I really like this pattern, and here's some pictures of me wearing them. And the next thing I'd like to share that I made in October is a pattern from 1993. And it is this skirt. It's MCall 6671. And I made this view, sort of. This 18-year-old can pull off these wide stripes going around the body, but me, not so much. So I chose for my stripes to go the other direction, which you'll see in a minute. And I don't know if you could tell from this, but it has this cool fringe going down the side. And here's my skirt. I love it. I did my stripes going up and down. I think that's more flattering for me. And here's the back. And this is an acrylic fabric that I got from Joann, and I took advantage of the cool selvage that was already on the fabric and used it for my hem. And if I had my stripes going the other way, I wouldn't have been able to do that. So I really love that. And then here's the fringe that I made from the fabric. You just sew a line down and then you just take a pin and then pick that fringe out. But this is super cool, and I was not able to use buttons. I tried. This fabric is really thick, and I tried several times with my machine. I ended up using snaps, which are okay, but I tried several times with my machine to do the buttons, and this fabric was just too thick. And I tried everything I knew. I tried hammering the seams down to flatten those. I know we do that a lot in bag making. I tried that. That didn't work. I tried using a denim needle. That didn't work. I tried lengthening my stitch length. I tried everything I could think of, and I still couldn't get it to work. And I had picked those tight buttonhole stitches out so many times that my fabric was starting to get little holes in it. So I didn't want to continue further trying the buttonhole, so I put the snaps on, but I think that's okay. And here are pictures of me wearing the skirt so you can see what it looks like on. And the next thing I'd like to share that I made in October is from 1985. You know I love me some 80s. And it is this Super Saver 7293. It is this top right here. Dolman Sleeve. Super easy and fast. And here's mine. And I made this from a shower curtain that I got from a thrift store. And as you can see, I lengthened the sleeves on mine. Let me show you. That one has short sleeves, but I wanted longer sleeves. So I just took a pattern piece that I had of this Dolman style and then just matched up the tops and then just followed the pattern that I have that has the longer sleeves and cut it out that way, and it worked out really well. And here's the back, and I want to show you my stripe matching. I'm pretty proud of it. I took a lot of time to match up those stripes. I think that worked out really well. And then here's the other side. You just have to do lots of pinning. But I'm really pleased with that turned out. And I'm going to save the pictures for this because I paired this with the Viewer's Choice winner. You guys came through for me again. This is so much fun. Thank you to everyone who participates in votes. I absolutely love it. And this month's Viewer's Choice was I let you design the features of the pants I was going to make. And it's the Perennial Pant by Kayla Kennington, and this is a pattern from 2005. Super cool pants, and you have the option of putting darts down toward the hem, and that is called a Japanese cut. And then it has these very cool pockets that you can either put down at the hem or up closer to the hip. And the Viewer's Choice options for you to vote was if you wanted me to put the darts at the bottom and if you wanted the pockets down toward the hem or up at the hip. And here's the winning vote. You guys voted for me to do the cool darts down at the hem, which I did, and also for the pockets, here they are, to be up closer to the hip. And thanks to you, these are the coolest pants I have ever owned, except maybe for my parachute pants in the 80s. But these, like I said, they're so cool. I love them so much. Thank you guys for voting. And they have these pleats at the top. I don't know if you can see that. And then I put the pockets at the hip, like you guys voted for. And then the super cool darts at the hem. And it has an elasticized waist. And then the back is just plain, no pleats or anything. And I paired the top from 1985 with these pants for the pictures. So here's what it looks like on, and here's what it looks like together. Aren't those pants so cool? And I wanted to say that on the pattern piece, she didn't show you where to put the pockets up near the hip. There was a placement guide for if you wanted to put the pockets near the hem, but not at the hip. It was suggested in the pattern to do that, but there wasn't a placement line for it on the pattern piece. So I just guessed, and I really am pleased with how those turned out. So thank you to everyone who participates in my viewer's choice every month. I do have one in my plans video every month, so make sure that you check those out and that you vote. I love it so much, and you guys always come through for me. And another thing I'd like to share that I made, I don't have it here with me, but I made Hubs some pajamas from Simplicity 9128. And I had made him a short sleeve version a couple months ago, but now that we're heading into fall and winter here, I made him the long sleeve top and then the pajama bottoms. This is a great pattern, very easy, quick, highly recommend. And I also made something for my grand pup. So here is what I made and also a picture of him. Here are some bandanas that I made for my grand pup, Diesel. He will be ready for the next 3 holidays. Here's one for Halloween. And this fabric glows in the dark. I got it at Joann. I got all these fabrics at Joann. And here's one for Thanksgiving. The turkeys. Here's a close-up of this one. Move those out of the way. And then here's one for Christmas. The fun polka dots. So he is ready. And these just tie around the neck. That's my son also with him in the picture, but aren't they both just the cutest? And I did want to mention that for the first top I showed that I made from the tablecloth, it's really thick, and I use this buttonhole cutter. Do you all have one? It's a little set, and I got mine in a thread crate box, but it's a super sharp blade that is sized perfectly for buttonholes, and then it comes with this little cutting mat, which is really neat. So you cut your buttonhole open like that. But I just wanted to mention that in case you all don't have one, because I loved it. That fabric was really thick, and I tried it with a seam ripper, which is the way I usually open my buttonholes, but then I remembered that I had this, and this did it quickly and cleanly, and I highly recommend these. I just wanted to mention that. So that is everything I made in October. Let me know what you think. I hope you liked everything. As always, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch my video. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed to my channel thus far. It really means a lot to me. If you haven't subscribed yet, I would really appreciate it if you would. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time. Bye!